Well, treat everything every day like it's competition, so you're going to still prepare the same way. Obviously, this year I'm a little more in tune with our offense, and I've seen a couple of these defenses, and I have a little bit more confidence in that level. But I think this year is just prepare the same way I did last year, just with the more knowledge that I have.
Do you feel like there's a lesson to be learned in how to be a quarterback, not only on the field, but what you guys do off it as well?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that go into being a quarterback, and I think having that year under my belt, I learned a lot of things. I did some things wrong, I did some things right. You kind of learn from your past experiences, and going into this next season, having those experiences, I feel like I'll be able to make some more of the right decisions than the wrong decisions.
Have you felt sort of the heat of competition from Jake Fromm, and just what has this addition been like?
Oh yeah, like I said, every day is competition. The fuller the QB room is, the better, because you got guys in there bouncing ideas off each other, and every rep you're looking at a different thing. Jake's a brilliant, smart kid. And, it's good to have a guy like that in the room. Who challenge you in the film room and on the field. So yeah, it's every day is a competition, just like every other position, and I look forward to it every day.
How much more confident, or how much better do this timing and chemistry feel with these guys? Having spent a year with a lot of these wideouts and receivers.
Yeah, a year's worth of work with them has done a lot more than last year. The timing's gotten better. I'm more in tune with when they're going to break on routes and all that stuff. And it's only continue to get better. So I'm looking forward to going out with them. They're all our receivers are running routes well, catching the ball well, the whole line's blocking well, and everybody's out there working hard and get through the camp and get ready for App State.
What's the best piece of advice Peyton gave you about going from year 1 to 2?
It wasn't specific advice about going from year 1 to year 2. He just kind of gave me an outlook of what it was like, a big time quarterback in the SEC like he was, and how he handled it, and some of the things he did and didn't do, and it was cool to see, because that's one of mine was to learn from him and kind of get an experience from someone I've never really had a chance to meet. And that was a really awesome experience. I learned a lot from him.
What's your expectations besides wins and losses for you in terms of some benchmarks that will indicate you're progressing like you want this season?
My expectations are to go out there and play as hard as I can and do what I can, get the ball. My job is to get the ball into playmakers' hands and let them do their job. Everybody has a specific job, so if everybody does their job, then things are looking up. And that's my expectations: to go out there, do the best I can, win the games we possibly can.
Hey, Jacob. So, how does it have some freshmen, a guy like DeAndre Swift and Mark Webb? How have they served as?
They've been great. Mark's been running hard. He's a fast kid, good hands, and DeAndre's he's showing off his jig moves, and he's out there doing well. And just like we expect him to do. They're big time freshmen. They're coming in and learning the system. They're competing hard, and that's what Coach Smart wants them to do. That's what Coach Cheney wants them to do, and they're buying in, which is a good thing to see.
Jacob, when Coach Cheney talked to us Saturday, he said obviously another year together, y'all have gotten to know each other a little bit more. Do you feel that same way? And kind of what is that getting to know each other kind of amounted to for you?
You get the more personal side of it than the football side, and that all kind of balances together into more of a friendship and a bond. And Coach Cheney's a really smart man, and he teaches me everything he possibly can, and I try to absorb all of it. So in the meeting rooms, we can joke around a little bit more, but also when it's time to get to work, we're getting to work. And he's hard on me, but I know it's for my own good. And that's the thing you want out of a coach. You want to coach you to get the best you can possibly be, and that's one thing Coach Cheney does really well.
Is he even harder on you now than he was last year, Coach Cheney?
I think Coach Cheney hasn't really changed as a coach. He's still going to be that guy. He's going to go out there every day to get his job done, just like I'm going to go out there to get my job done. He's been coaching the whole QB room and managing an offense, and working with the young guys just like he did last year. So, obviously we have a better relationship this year than last year just because of time and more time spent together. But yeah, he's still the same.
What about Cherry Godwin? It seems like fans and writers are always looking for the next big thing at receiver, who's going to be the next. But this guy had 38 catches last year, I think, maybe the same number the year before. Where does he fit in things, and how would you describe your relationship with him as a
Oh,
partner?
Terry, I have a great relationship. I have a great relationship with all my receivers. Terry brightens up the room. He's got a great smile. He's a funny guy. Yeah, he's a great athlete too. He has really good hands. He can run a great route. Just like most of our receivers have their good traits, and they all have things they can work on too. Just like me, I'm my good traits and things I can work on. So Terry, he's having a good year this year. He's been more of a vocal leader. He's pushing guys in the receiver room. And we all have our job to do, and the thing we try to do is just fine.
What's your level of comfort with college offense, this offense right now versus this time last year?
Well, the year under my belt helped, and the summer and this offseason definitely helped. Coach Cheney coached me and Jake and all the other quarterbacks. It's been a long time in the film room. Really trying to look at each individual concept and where to go coverage-wise, concept-wise, all that stuff. So I think just the time made me a lot more comfortable and getting out there on the field and actually doing it live. Over time, you just kind of get more comfortable with it. So I still got some things to do and a long ways to go, but I'm comfortable where I'm at right now.
When you look at improving your completion percentage, I think Kirby talks to us a lot about. Is there anything from last year that you say this was X, Y, Z, why it wasn't?
There's a lot of things that go into it, just from looking at the rush to seeing what I'm not supposed to see, having my eyes in the wrong spot. There's a lot of things, so that all results in being late on the throw or being off balance or that kind of thing. So I think those are all the little things we're working on in our individual groups as quarterbacks. We all have our things we need to work on, and Coach Cheney's he's preaching, get better at what you're not good at. Keep working on the small things, the little things, because those are what in the end are going to help you out in the long run.
Cheney talked about